Hi, my name is Christine Erickson. I am a mindfulness coach and I am a clinical mental health counselor. And I wanted to share with you 4 tips today that could be helpful to you now in April 2020 as we are going through upheaval with the pandemic. But also, these tips can be used long term. These are things that are not going to ever serve you well. And so I wanted to share with you a few things that have been helpful to me as I've been going through this kind of weird time. The first thing that I wanted to share with you is to be aware of your body's needs. Now, depending on what kind of changes the pandemic has created for you in your particular situation, you might have some different needs that you didn't have a couple of months ago. You might need more sleep. You might need to be aware of what you're eating and making sure that you get the nutrition that you need. Your needs for supplements might have changed a little bit. And also, you want to be aware of your need to get outside because we don't have the same type of interaction of going and coming from our homes that we used to. And so it's important to be able to get outside each day. And I'm not advocating that people congregate at parks or anything like that, but just even getting outside your own door. And if you have a yard, if you're able to go and stand in the grass, or if you have access to unpopulated trails, this would be a really important thing for us to do at this time because our bodies need to move and we also need sunshine. So be aware of your body's need for exercise, sleep, food, supplements, and sunshine. So my second tip for you is to be present. There is so much information available to us on so many different topics, and in particular right now there's a lot of information available to us that could create fear, frustration, stress, anxiety, all those great things. And really, even at any given time, there we do have access to so much information that we can get overloaded with so much. So it's important to be present and be aware of what you have control over and focus your efforts on what you can do, what's in your power, what you have in this moment that you can do. And that's going to look different for all of us. But the more that we stay present, the more we stay focused on the here and now and take advantage of what we can do right now, the less we will worry. When I talk about being present, focusing on the here and now, the alternative is getting caught up in our thoughts. And a lot of times what happens is we get caught up in things that we don't have control over, and this can lead to frustration, it can lead to discouragement, and it can lead to stress and anxiety. And so when you notice your thoughts are starting to focus on things that you have no control over or things that could create more fear or more anxiety for you, then that's when you want to bring your attention back to the present. And I'm not saying to avoid important information. If you're living in an area where where there are certain measures put in place where you've been asked to stay home, you want to be aware of what those rules are. You want to be aware of what mandates are in place, what kind of policies are in place. And so you do want to have an awareness of what's going on, but then what that looks like in the here and now is, okay, how does that affect my behavior and what I do? So it's not something that you need to worry about what's going to happen in a month or 2 months or 3 months. Okay, so we do need to think about that, and we do need to kind of come up with a plan because we do need to prepare ourselves. But if we spend too much time in the future, we will become more stressed and more anxious. And so you want to spend enough time in the future, but you don't want to spend too much there. So just aim for what you have control over what you can do to prepare for the future. But as much as possible, be present. And again, part of that, be aware of what you need to know and what kind of information you should be seeking. So the third tip that I wanted to give you is to be productive. And this one, depending on your situation, again, can be a little bit challenging. There are a lot of people who are working from home. There are some people that have been laid off, or they have had to choose to decrease their business hours themselves in order to keep their clients or the people that they're working with safe. And so if you have had a change in that, you want to do what you can to be productive. If you aren't able to go into work, if you're not able to work from your home, you want to find things that you can do to be productive. You might have some projects that you've put off for a while. You might have some hobbies that you can develop, that you have access to. And in addition to being productive, kind of the thing that goes along with this is having structure for yourself. And if you are a parent, creating structure for your kids. So many of us know that kids thrive with structure, but in reality, grown-ups thrive with structure as well. And so you want to be realistic in the type of things that you're planning into your structure, but you do want to have as much structure as possible, and you want to do what you can to be productive. So my fourth tip that I want to give you today is to be faithful. And when I say be faithful, you may be religious, you may be spiritual, but what I would encourage you to do is to focus on the things that you know or the things that you have confidence in, and look to those beliefs as a source of strength. You may believe in a loving God who knows more, who knows all, and if this is the case, this can provide a great sense of peace for you as we are going through some really strange times. Being able to tap into that, knowing that that we are cared for, we have someone who is greater than us and knows more and is aware of what we're going through at this time, and also accessing that through prayer, through meditation. So prayer, meditation, and maybe even as you are going through this time, it might be helpful for you to do one of your meditation practices more specifically on those things that you know. So if you believe in a loving God that knows all and that has a plan for you, you might do a meditation specifically on that to generate feelings of faith and confidence that everything is going to be okay. Another thing that could be helpful to you that I'm going to put in the faith category is to use your ability to believe in things that you can't see, to do some visualization. One of the things that I have done for myself as I have gone to different places, because I do have a job where I do go into my work because I have a part-time job at a residential treatment facility. And so these girls are living there and they need a therapist, they need support staff, they need people to be there for them and help take care of them in this stressful time, because they were technically stressed before the pandemic even hit. So they need the support and they need us to be there. And so one of the things that I have visualized is a bubble surrounding my workplace. And this bubble is an energy field that is like a bug zapper, only specifically it is a virus zapper instead of a bug zapper. And so when people go inside this bubble, then whatever viruses they might be having, that they might be carrying with them, those are zapped as they go inside this bubble. So that's one of the things that has been helpful to me and given me a little bit of peace of mind as I have gone to and from work. Because if I focus on the fact that I am going into this facility on a regular basis where there are 44 girls and a bunch of staff to take care of them, and the staff are coming and going, they're going to their homes and then they're going into work on a regular basis. And if I focus on the numbers, the potential carriers of a virus, it could become very overwhelming to me. And so I have used both of these things. I have used prayer, I have used faith, I have prayed for people at the facility that we can be healthy. And I've also used this visualization to help me to be a little bit more calm about going to and from work. So one more tool that I want to give you that can be helpful to you at this time, and it is something that also can be used at other times because we experience stress just whenever without the pandemic, we still experience stress in a lot of different forms. And so this is something that has been helpful to me and to a lot of my clients as well. And it is called emotional freedom technique, or tapping. And so I want to just take you through a brief tapping exercise. And there's a startup phrase that we say, and then after that, the way I like to do it is kind of tell a story as I tap on different points, on different meridian points as I do this. So if I were to do a tapping session, I've done a few of these on myself recently. I would start tapping here on the karate chop point, and I would say, even though I am feeling stressed out because of all of the changes in my life recently, I deeply and completely accept myself. I don't really know where to start because there's so much going on. There's so many changes, and there's some scary things going on. I'm not really sure what's going to happen, and sometimes I'm afraid, and sometimes I'm worried. I'm worried for myself. I'm worried for my family. I'm worried for my friends. But I know that we're doing our best to keep our distance from each other. And I know that this pandemic isn't going to last forever. But right now, it's hard. And right now, I'm kind of stressed out. And sometimes I'm overwhelmed. Sometimes I'm overwhelmed by all of it. Sometimes I'm overwhelmed, and it just feels like it's too much for me to handle. And I feel worn out and exhausted. But there are other times when I feel strong, and other times when I know that I'm smart enough that I can figure this out, that I can know what I need to do for my family and for myself. There are times when there's so much to think about and so many plans to make, or so many changes, that I get confused about what I need to do next. I feel frustrated and confused. Frustrated and confused. Frustrated and confused. But there are other times when I know exactly what I need to do. There are other times when I feel really clear about what's next. And there are other times when I feel confident. But still sometimes I feel like my life is in upheaval. Upheaval does not feel good. I feel unsettled. 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 Disoriented. 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 Disoriented and unsettled. But there are other times when I can just be here, when I can just be present, when I can focus on the here and now, when I am able to just focus on what I have control over. There are times when I'm able to tune into what I need and I'm able to act on that. And there are times when, even though my life is still a bit in upheaval, I don't feel like I'm in upheaval. It's just all the external stuff. But me personally, I am calm and I'm stable and I'm able to be grounded and be present and be in the here and now. And be in the here and now and feel like I do have control over things. I don't have control over everything, but I do have control over some things. And as I focus on those things that I have control over, I feel strong. I feel confident, strong, confident, capable, strong, confident. So this is a tapping series that can be helpful to you right now, hopefully. This is something that also can be done at other times when you're dealing with other challenges. And hopefully it's something that has been helpful to you today. If you would like to contact me and connect with me and see if there's something that I could do to be helpful to you at this time, I'd love to have a free consultation with you. But beyond that, if you're interested in working with me and interested in finding out more about some of the programs that I offer, I would love to connect with you. So I will put that link underneath this video. But regardless of whether you connect with me in the future or not, you are welcome to go to my Facebook page and enjoy some of the mindfulness videos that I have there and some of the resources that I have there. And I wish you the best. I hope that things go well for you through this strange time, this spring of 2020 and beyond. Thank you so much.